Hello everyone, Tallara here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. We're back at the Skyhold, catching our breath after quite the crazy experience. Not only did we put an end to another one of Cryphius's plans to summon a demon army, we saved the Grey Wardens from his influence, we also had an escapade into the Fade, where we met presumably the spirit of, our recently deceased divine. We don't know exactly who we met, but she kind of alluded to the fact that it was her spirit who had lingered behind to help us. We also met the Nightmare, who is a demon helping out Griffiths. So, after all that, we saved the day, of course, because that's what Inquisitors do. And we are now back at the Skyhold, where I would just like to take a moment to catch our breath, check in with all of our companions, and just do things that don't involve saving the world for like 0.5 seconds before we have to go back to, saving the world. So let's head up into the main hall first, which, first of all, I'd like to say, check it out. I think the construction is finally complete. All the scaffolding is removed. There's lots of fancy-looking Orlesian people here now. There's tables with the world's biggest pigs and chickens on it. Oh my, who is eating that? This is great. Okay, it's nice to see that the Skyhold construction is coming along. So let's take a moment to chat with Varric right here before we move further in.
I knew Stroud, not well. He led the Wardens near Kirkwall. Not many people knew who he was, but the man was a hero when it mattered. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. This story's no good for heroes.
We heroes might make it.
Some of us heroes will make it. We're just too amazing to die.
Huh. If we're both still standing at the end of all this, I'll buy the drinks. Oh, Hawk asked me to tell everyone back in Kirkwall where he's going. Fenris needs to know. Maker, I'm glad I won't be doing this in person. I'd better write some letters. Excuse me.
I don't understand why Hawk couldn't write his own letters. But good friend Varric is gonna let Fenris know where he's been, so that's good.
Sorry, I really need to write some letters. Another time, all right?
No worries, get to your letters. Check in with Gotzi, who I believe...
Well, how about that?
...was responsible for the repairs, which, yes, do appear to be complete.
Stone Mad, Inquisitor.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Another time.
This is the guy who's responsible for the, for these, mosaic tiles that we've been finding. I think he might have also been responsible for construction. He's a busy guy. But okay, so we don't have anything to talk to him about right now. Pop in this way and visit Solus in his super, super cool chamber. I think the murals are growing. I didn't realize Solus was an artiste. These murals are beautiful. Man.
I cannot believe the Grey Wardens could even conceive of such a plan. To seek out these old gods deliberately in some bizarre attempt to preempt the Blight.
Okay, chill. Chill. My goodness. You know, they kind of obsess over Darkspawn. It's kind of their thing, you know?
Grey Wardens have always been dangerous.
Oh,
They care for
that's
nothing
not
beyond
what I meant to
stopping the
say, but
Darkspawn.
Solus
Like
approves,
a
so...
fair maiden chasing a butterfly off a cliff. Except that if you hadn't stopped them, we'd all have fallen. Those fools and duty. Responsibility is not expertise. Action is not inherently superior to inaction. Forgive me. The entire idea is unnerving.
Man, he was really worked up. He wasn't that worked up when the mages were responsible. Anyway, I've already told you guys my thoughts on the Grey Wardens. I don't think they're any more or less responsible than the other people who've been influenced by Corypheus's actions. We'll leave Solus to ruminate. Now let's head upstairs. Hey, Dorian.
You have remarkably little here on early to Vinter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on whether Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
Such a critic.
That's the Dorian I know. Critiquing every book in my library.
I wouldn't have to if you could find some rebellious heretic archivist to join the cause.
Are there rebellious archivists? Other than you, that is.
If Corypheus ever starts burning masterworks of literature, I'm sure a few will pop up. Did I see something by Genitivi here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
When everyone returned, they told us about your tumble into the Abyssal Rift. You went into the Fade. Physically went in. Are you... all right?
I mean, we lost Stroud.
Stroud. It's gone.
The Fade is an ordeal under normal circumstances. To be the only real thing there, beyond description. That you made it out at all is a miracle. You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison.
I should be proud?
So, I should be happy I accomplished something so grand?
Concerned, more like. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
I mean, that sounds like solid advice to me. They don't have the anchor, so they probably won't be able to do it, but even still. Yeah, I agree.
That's a good idea.
There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus's real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck.
Oh, Dorian. I love him. He's so great. I just really get along with him. I love friendly flirting with him, if you will. He's great and a good example of Tevinter. Check in with Fiona here.
I'm told you gave the Grey Wardens another chance, Inquisitor. Would I have done the same, I wonder? Forgiveness can be difficult. I hope the Order values what you've done and gives you no reason to regret it.
I mean, I forgave you guys. You guys being the mages, didn't I? It's all good here?
I trust everything is well with the mages?
We're mostly relieved. An alliance with the Inquisition offers security, although who knows for how long.
Alright, carry on.
I'll leave you to it.
Okay. Turn in our research here. Get some experience points. Man, those crows are loud. Caw, caw, caw. Now, Liliana wanted to chat with us, so we'll come up here and chat with her. Although first we'll read her mail. On the condition of your charges, dear Liliana, you'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. Schmooples II is still unhappy about his meal plan and tries to get into the pantry. I had to have a bolt installed and now he whines constantly. The two little ones are still a handful, but good news. I've managed to discourage Boulette from relieving herself on the silk rug Justinia gave you. Felicienne, from 2 doors over, has been visiting almost every day to play with the Nugs. She's quite delightful, and Schmooples II is fond of her. I suspect it is because she brings him sweets from her father's shop. I had to ask her governess to keep her from visiting the house, however, as someone tried to infiltrate it 2 nights ago. An agent of one of the Blanchards, hoping to uncover some of the Nightingale's secrets. I neutralized and interrogated him. His ability to withstand questioning was deplorable. Someone needs to talk to the Blanchards about their spies. All I had to do was put Schmooples II in his face and tell him that I hadn't fed the creature that day. Your pet played his part admirably. I received your orders and will depart for Ferelden as soon as possible. I've arranged for Gardner to take over the Nug keeping from Sparrow. I'm obsessed with Liliana's Nug breeding operation. That is just the best background lore ever. Just makes me love her even more. Liliana is so great, and let's check in with her now after the message we delivered to her after we met Justinia in the Fade.
Inquisitor, I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, You said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She saved me.
She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did she say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
I'm sorry, but no.
I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it.
There are no answers in the fate. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her.
Oh, poor Liliana. She's taking this so personally. Justinia wouldn't have wanted that. Do you want to talk anymore, or?
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
I'm not afraid.
People can hate me if they wish.
That gets us nowhere. The Inquisition is young. We need to build our support. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
You must miss Justinia, huh?
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend, and there were so many things going wrong.
Tell me about it.
Sometimes it's best to talk these things out.
I was with the hero Ferelden when he defeated the Archdemon. With him by my side, anything was possible. But there is no happily ever after, not when life goes on. When the Divine requested my help, I went to her. I owed her that much. I sacrificed so much to do the Maker's work. But now, Justinia is dead. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
I was wondering if we were ever going to get Liliana to mention the hero of Ferelden, and she did. I like that not every ending, not every fairy tale has a happy ending, you know. Her and the hero of Ferelden, they loved each other, and they stuck together and did what had to be done, but then they realized they both had very separate paths they needed to walk. She came to Justinia. The hero of Ferelden, of course, led the Grey Wardens for a time in Ferelden, and now we actually don't know where he is, but maybe they'll come back together someday. That would be really nice. Any updates?
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
Alright, yeah, I gotta go deal with the Orlesian monarchy soon, but for now, carry on.
I'll leave you to your work.
Alright, let's see who else we can check in with. Here's Vivian up in her little, corner of the Great Hall. Scaffolding's been removed here as well. That probably makes her happy. Hello, Vivian. How are you feeling today?
You walked physically through the Fade. Please tell me what you remember.
I mean, it was fascinating. I saw the Divine in my past.
I had visions. Echoes of what happened to me the first time. The Divine was there. Something like her.
Manifestations of your own mind, perhaps? Or external memories awakened by your presence? I suppose there's no way to tell. No one else has physically entered the Fade since the Magisters assaulted the Golden City. Oh, I'm positively envious right now.
Sorry we couldn't bring you. Okay. That's it for me. Told you a little bit about the Fade. Now that the scaffolding is removed, can we get in this door? Where does this bring us, I wonder? Ah, it brings us up above this courtyard. which A, looks absolutely beautiful with that red tree. B, have we even been in that courtyard? Okay, we need to find a way to get down there. Aha, here we go. There's lots of nobles out here.
Fertile ground, even here. This hold has everything.
Literally, this place is beautiful. What a stroke of luck we managed to stumble around here. And we can plant seeds. Plant seeds in Skyhold's nursery to grow herbs for crafting. Find seeds by gathering herbs in the wild. We have... Oh, we've got a ton of seeds. Blood lotus. Ghoul's beard. Very cool. Hello, Elan Vimal.
Inquisitor, Elan Vimal. Honored to represent the College of Herbalists and offer my services as apothecary. My colleague Adan was clear about the worth of your cause. I look forward to assisting him.
Welcome aboard.
I look forward to working with you.
And I you. I wasn't sure what to think of you people, but recent events have put those doubts to bed. All the mundane needs of Skyhold will be well tended. If you note anything special, let me know. I'm here to serve the cause we must.
Alright, sounds good. Thank you for your help. Here we have Cole. Let's check in with him. In his big floopy hat.
But you like demons! I enjoy the company of spirits, yes, which is part of why I do not abuse them with bindings. It isn't abuse if I ask. Not always true. Also, I do not practice blood magic, which renders this entire conversation academic.
He won't bind me. He's a mage and he likes demons, but he won't help.
Wait, what? What's wrong?
Why would you want Solus to bind you?
So I'm safe. If Solus won't do the ritual to bind me, someone else could. Will. Like the Warden mages, and then... I'm not me anymore. Walls around what I want. Blocking, bleeding, making me a monster.
Okay. That's not true for everyone.
A mage using blood magic could conceivably do that to any one of us, human or demon.
You should ask Solus to bind you too, and then someone can bind him.
That's not the answer. We'll protect you.
We'll find a way to keep you safe without binding you, Cole.
I have a suggestion, if Cole is ready to listen. I recall stories of amulets used by Raveni seers to protect spirits they summoned from rival mages. A spirit, wearing an amulet of the Unbound, was immune to blood magic and binding. It should protect Cole as well.
Perfect.
The resources of the Inquisition could be used to find such a talisman.
Good. They will not take me.
What an interesting conversation. Okay, great suggestion though, Solus. Poor Cole is scared after what happened. Understandable, I suppose, but alright. So we will need to send scouts to investigate possible amulet locations. We can do that. First, though, we're gonna check in with my man, Iron Bull.
Strangest thing, though.
Oh!
Again.
Am I interrupting something here?
Again. Come on! This is why the Qun doesn't like women fighting. I should have asked Cullen.
Just gonna hit him good for that one.
Good one.
Perhaps you can take over.
Qunari training exercise to master your fear. I heard about the nightmare at Adamant. Sounded big.
What is this exercise?
Can you explain why I'm supposed to hit you with this stick?
Probably, if I try. It'd involve a lot of Qunari words, though. Just hit me with the stick, alright? I need to get over this demon crap.
I mean, look, if you want me to hit you with the stick, who am I to say no?
All right.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Damn demon. Who's stuck in the fade, huh?
That's right, let it out.
You fought in that siege. Every demon at Adamant wanted to tear you in half.
I bet, you demon assholes! And who killed you? That's right, Iron fucking Bull! I needed that. Thanks, boss.
What a hilarious interaction. I mentioned before, I am interested in romancing Iron Bull, and as much as I kind of cringe to say the statement, we are going to go with the flirtatious, you like it rough.
Didn't know you liked it that rough.
Only from you, boss. Only from you.
Alright. Well, that was a very interesting interaction, but it does seem that Bull appreciated us going along with his weird hitting rituals, and so hopefully that got him in his good books, and hopefully he liked that little flirt at the end. And now we're standing right here next to Cassandra, so we'll say hello to her.
Writing does not come naturally to me, as I'm certain you can imagine.
Is everything okay?
Are you all right? You seem very intent.
I am. This needs to be done before I forget. As if written by a dim-witted child. Historians will one day ask what happened at Adamant Fortress, in the Fade. I wasn't there, but others were. Their accounts must be recorded.
I mean, that's a good idea, I think.
That's an excellent idea, Cassandra.
I certainly thought so, until I started writing. I still don't know what to say about the spirit of the divine. The Chantry teaches us that the souls of the dead pass through the Fade, so it could have been her. Yet even so...
So you think it's possible?
Do you really think it could have been her? A ghost?
A ghost. A remnant of her hopes and memories. Her lingering will to do good. Those things are all possible. Nobody knows for certain what happens after we die. A spirit could have assumed her form, but why? It helped you, as Justinia herself would have.
I mean, I think it was her. Some part of her.
I believe it was the Divine. She helped us one last time.
I hope that's true. I want to believe it. When they told me you were physically in the Fade, I was terrified for you. The last time such a thing happened, we created Darkspawn. We created Corypheus. The world needs to know the truth this time. No more legends lost to the ages.
That's Cassandra, always so pragmatic. Always so capable. That's why we love her. Sorry to jump down into your blacksmithing area. Kunari don't mind 10 feet falls. Alright, who have we not checked in with? Let me just check our map. We haven't checked in on Sarah. She's next. Ah, you're standing right in front of the door.
Wardens harm their own and fall to mortal.
Man, people are really into crapping on the Grey Wardens these days. How quickly they forget how they stopped the Blight, huh? Sarah's Cabinet of Wonder. Whose it was? Griffin Warden. Heavy.
Heard what went on in that Fade thing. What you think went on. Can't even start to believe that business.
Seeing is believing.
It's hard to describe. Guess you had to be there.
No friggin' thanks. Some people are still there. Stroud, yeah? Lost a serious mustache there. And in trade, a busted down bunch of wardens. And they're always weird. Usually, bad stuff happens first, so you're glad when the hero shows up. But wardens are the wrong way round. They're the good thing that means a bad thing is about to happen. Like in Denerim, when the Blight ended.
What do you remember?
A lot happened in Denerim. What did you see?
People talked a lot about this one warden. There was a big fight and they died, or... I don't know, maybe they didn't.
The hero of Ferelden? You forget the hero of Ferelden.
That was ages ago. 10 years. I was playing with small painted boxes and burying stuff I stole. I remember more people cringing about magic than blight. Wardens were an excuse for your stuff to go missing. Blackwall's nice, though. Different from the adamant ones. Need more like him.
Interesting. As I was just saying before we came to speak to Sarah, it's interesting how so many people are having doubts about Grey Wardens. Clearly memories are short, I guess. Speaking of Grey Wardens, let's chat with Blackwall here, who gave such a rousing speech on our last quest, so really glad I brought him along.
Someone I knew once described Adamant to me. Adamant is, and always will be, the Order, he said. A guardian on the edge of the abyss. The lone soul that stares into oblivion and doesn't waver. That's what Warden Commander Clarel tried to be. Well, they all tried to be. None of the Wardens we saw wavered. They gave their lives willingly. They died for us. And Corypheus twisted their sacrifice to make it his own.
That's why we fight him.
And that's why he has to die.
You'll get no argument from me. There's no one to blame but Corypheus. Even Clarel's intentions were righteous. Her desire to protect was so great it led her astray. It's not right. To want to do good, to be good, and have that turned against you.
We can still try, right?
At the end of the day, I guess all we can do is try and hope for the best.
You're right. What matters is that we never give up. Clarel made mistakes, but she was a great woman. And she died a great woman. It's not the armor or the trappings of the Order. It's not the joining. At the heart of it, all a Warden is a promise. To protect others, even at the cost of your own life.
I really like Blackwall. I feel like he shows the best of the Grey Wardens. Like I said, I was very happy to have him along on that mission. So very jealous that he gets such a cozy little corner here of his own. Oh, hey Colin, you got new digs. Nice little office. Still need some repairs, but nice to have a space of your own, I'm sure.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. They're in Fall Redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
I believe you.
The Red Templar swarming Haven were proof enough.
We cannot allow them to gain strength. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
Good thinking.
I like finding the Red Templars' vulnerabilities before fighting them head-on.
We'll need every advantage against what courses through their veins. Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
Alright. We can do that. We'll add it to our list of to-dos. What else Colin has to say while we're here.
As leader of the Inquisition, there's something I must tell you.
This sounds ominous.
You're being especially serious today.
I know. Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
But why?
Why are you doing this?
After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Are you okay?
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
I respect your decision.
Thank you for telling me. I respect what you're doing.
Thank you, Inquisitor. The Inquisition's army must always take priority. Should anything happen, I will defer to Cassandra's judgment.
It's very interesting. It's good to know more. We actually just unlocked a codex entry, Confessions of a Lyrium Addict. I want to go check that out. A prison cell, a scrap of paper for my confession, scarce enough bread and water. All I get for skimming one lousy bottle from the lyrium stores. Knight Lieutenant Freyan cut my normal rations for insubordination. Insubordination, my arse. It's because I saw him desert the guard tower to meet his girl. Freyan thought he'd teach me a lesson. I'm thirsty, but the water doesn't work. It should be more blue. You take it like medicine at first, the lyrium. Your whole body sings with it like the Maker's own fire. You're not scared of anything, not even abominations. After, it even takes away the nightmares. But the ration's too small. If they don't give you enough, your hands get cold. The sky starts to press down on you. Little things slip away, so you have to stay. The senior Templars all have that look, that cloudy look in their eyes. Sign your confession, they said. I'm trying. I can't think of what name to sign. Confessions of an Unknown Templar found among Montsemar Chantry records in 827 Blessed. It's just, this game is so good because each group is so nuanced, and this is just another aspect of the lore of this world that is so nuanced. The fact that Templars are basically drug addicts, and they can't even leave the Templars or be insubordinate for the fact that their superiors will cut off their supply and they'll go into withdrawal. It's so much to think about. It's so interesting. So interesting to know that Cullen is trying to get off at cold turkey. We'll have to see how that goes, I guess. Coming back to the Great Hall, first of all, you may notice that the throne looks different. I actually customized the throne in a Kunari style, so we've got some really badass looking Kunari statues on the side. And we do have some people to judge, so while we're here and the hall is looking good, let's do some judgment, shall we, on our new throne.
Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus.
Ah, that's who I'm
judging.
judging.
Alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
A grim and serious matter.
Many places felt the pain of Adamant. You will answer for a great deal.
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear. Not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground you trod in your pathetic life. I serve the living God. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
Wow, he's really making a case for himself, isn't he? So we have jail him and lose the key, which I like, because then he gets, you know, more suffering. However, if he stays alive, I'm scared that Corypheus might come and try to free him. Dying by my sword is what he wants, which I don't want to give him what he wants. The Wardens do want him for what he did to them. And then this one is curious, if we give him a mage's punishment and make him tranquil. It's, you know, it's a terrible thing to do to someone, but when someone is that terrible, perhaps it's the best way. The Wardens want him, though, and that makes sense, because he literally messed up their whole order, so I'm gonna give him to the Wardens for them to do what they see fit with him.
Although willing, there is a group you have wronged more than any. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium. The Wardens can have you. Let them take your head if they want it.
Their petty justice or yours, it matters not. Truth lies in the next world.
Alright, well, that's that decision done. Looks like we may have someone else to judge, though. Yeah, we do. Okay. Sit my buns back down. Who do we have here?
Another of the lingering pains of adamant, your worship. Sir Ruth is a senior warden of the Order.
Oh.
She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the headman's axe.
Interesting. Not a request made lightly.
You're very serious about this. Is more death the answer?
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus, many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
How interesting. She's taking this very seriously, which I do appreciate. I'm not gonna publicly humiliate her. That's not the answer. Jailing, perhaps. Or maybe go to the deep roads. She wants to die. She wants to bring honor back to herself and the Grey Wardens. Perhaps fighting to the death in the deep roads would be the correct punishment here.
You feel your life is over. There's a place for such wardens. So Ruth, you'll go to the deep roads. Your death may be as quick as you choose.
This sends no message. This is just an end.
Okay. Apparently we have someone else to judge too. This is a busy day on the throne. Sit my buns back down for a third time. Who else we got?
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is
Oh!
present for betraying his own constituents.
Yes, yes.
He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight.
Right.
The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
Well, it's a severe crime either way.
What he did can't be overlooked, no matter the motive.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood. Were no innocents caught in the waters?
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it. Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors I'd drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
I actually feel sympathy for this guy. He had to make a very tough decision to save the majority. Sometimes you have to sacrifice the minority. What should we choose here? Our options are given to the Grey Wardens, a clean death, exile. Yeah, actually, I kind of like Ferelden can lock him up. It's not really my jurisdiction. The crimes he committed were in the country of Ferelden. They weren't sort of acting for any larger overarching plot like Corypheus or anything like that, so I think Ferelden should pass judgment and lock him up, perhaps. We'll defer to King Alistair.
You committed murder on Ferelden's soil. Let them deal with your punishment. Send him to Denerim. He can live the rest of his life behind their bars.
In prison? Maker. I should have drowned with them.
Alright, is that enough judgment now? Are we all judged out? We are all judged out. Alright guys, this has been a great day getting to get caught up here in Skyhold, catching up with all of our companions. We've got still a ton more stuff to do. As always, being an Inquisitor, the work never ends. It was nice to have a low-key moment here, so Thank you all so much for being a part of this adventure, and hopefully I'll see you guys back here again soon for another episode.